I hit ground first.
Oh, okay.
Like I brought him on top of me, like a C-flex type.
You're hitting the ground and he goes next.
Yeah.
Imagine a police officer with 17 years of law enforcement experience leaves Louisiana under a cloud of controversies, moved nearly 4,000 miles away to start over in Juneau, Alaska. But just months into his new job, he found himself in another excessive force investigation.
Wait,
Don't
what?
do that.
What?
Don't do that.
Turn around. You're going to jail too.
For what?
Put your hands behind your back. I'm not going to tell you again. You about to get slammed.
And by the end of the video, we'll try to examine what really escalated the situation and why this officer moved from Louisiana to Alaska in the first place.
Walking now, huh?
It's July 30th, 2025, just before 8 p.m. in Juneau, Alaska. Outside the Douglas Public Library, police got a call about a disturbance. A 47-year-old woman, Marissa Didrikson, is harassing and throwing water in the face of a 52-year-old man who was sitting on a park bench. She was also hurling racial slurs, saying that he didn't belong in Juneau. However, soon after, Officer Allen arrived at the scene and started to investigate the matter.
Hello, Officer Allen, Juneau Police. Just want to make sure you're all right. Someone said something.
I'm all right. She just grabbed my things. That's her right there.
Do you know who she
That's
is?
her right there.
Do you know
I
who
don't
she
know
is?
who she is. That's her right there.
I'll talk to her. I'll talk to her.
The first responding officer acts really calm and professional, and as soon as he arrives, he begins to investigate each side of the story.
Hey, Officer Allen, what's going on tonight?
I don't know.
You just threw the water in my face.
No.
You grabbed my things and just smushed my food.
I'll talk to her and I'll talk to you too.
No. I think he's violent. I think I didn't do anything. No, I did not.
People said that you were throwing things at people.
No.
This is with me.
What? She
You
wasn't with you. You weren't here.
What?
Have you ever met him before? So, can you tell me what happened then?
No. He's very violent. There's been quite a few of them that came from the. What do they call that?
I don't know. So what happened today? I got a report that there was a male and female arguing and that a female was throwing stuff. That's what I
No,
heard.
I'm not
Shit, you're
throwing.
going to jail now.
All right. Okay. All right. Hang tight. I'm not free to go yet. I'll talk to him. Okay.
Get rehab.
City 125. The female just showed up.
She can hardly walk, man.
Can you tell me what happened today?
I just bought my food.
Okay. So you bought food. You're
Yeah.
pointing to the gas station.
And I put it here.
Okay. You put it there,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
She came walking up
Okay.
across the street. She came walking over,
Okay.
and she walked over here, and she sat down.
Okay.
My food was here. I was
Right.
smoking right here.
Right.
She came and she sat down right next to my food.
Were your food on? Okay.
Okay. I went to come retrieve my food because she started just talking to the air.
Okay.
I reached for my food. She grabbed my bag and told me, "Get off this, bitch. This is mine."
Okay.
She ripped my bag.
Your grocery bag back here. Okay. All right.
And then she threw the water in my face.
And
Okay.
was it a water bottle or a cup
No,
of
it's
water?
the cup that she has
Okay.
right there.
All right.
That's
And,
assault.
okay. And then what happened after that?
Isn't that enough?
Well, I still want to finish the story. So
Okay.
she threw the water in your face, and then what happened?
Okay, we had to tussle for the bag.
Okay. Your bag.
Then she started insulting me.
So apparently, this is the person who called 911, and he's now explaining to the officer about what happened. And as he was doing that, one of the local, who was also on-scene witness, decided to come forward.
Can you tell me what you saw today?
I heard the person in the gray sweatshirt with the white jeans, with the blue jeans, was screaming and yelling at this man who was sitting there. And then she was in the middle of the street, like that. That's what
Okay.
she was, and yelling. People from the bar also could hear.
Okay.
Then she came at him from across and charged him.
Okay.
And I couldn't see what she threw, but she did something.
Ultimately, after this, the responding officer finally decides to arrest Marissa for one misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct.
At this time, you're placed under arrest. So can you stand up for me, please?
No.
Yes. Stand up for
No.
me. You're under
You're not
arrest.
gonna touch me.
Yeah.
Stop.
You're under arrest.
Ouch.
Stand
Ow.
up. Stand up.
Ow.
But as she was being taken to the petrol vehicle, things took an unexpected turn. Enters Brandon LeBlanc. As he arrives, he hears Marissa loudly shouting to his male partner to take care of the man she was previously harassing.
Take care of him.
Can you stand up? Can Can you stand over here for me?
Take care of him!
LeBlanc immediately steps in and assists Alan in handcuffing Marissa. But as Marissa was secured, LeBlanc turned his attention to her male partner, ordering him to walk away.
Go before you go to jail, too.
But when William didn't comply and approaches him in what LeBlanc called aggressive manner,
Wait, what? Don't do that. Turn around. You're going to jail, too. Put your hands behind your back. I'm not going to tell you again. You about to get slammed.
and then, in a sudden move, LeBlanc flips William over his head, causing William to land on his head. LeBlanc flipped William so fast that we can even hear the sound of his head hitting the concrete sidewalk.
Right now.
And for roughly 10 minutes, William will stay unconscious until the paramedics arrives.
Well, here's like the thing. So he was fighting with my officer here. They both went down to the ground. They both hit the cement here. He just started snoring. I don't see any blood. I've used 2 smelling salts, but I haven't been able to get him to come back to.
What brought you here in the first place?
The lady in my car was throwing stuff and bothering this gentleman right here. And then he showed up afterwards and was causing problems with us.
Can you sit up for us? How are you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, he's the guy.
I wanted to know how you're doing. Like you're okay.
He's,
We're gonna sit up, okay?
oh, there's the head. Yep, there we go.
There we go. Yeah. It's a good hit. All right, let's go to the hospital. Well, you got a pretty good head wound now.
And he will follow. He's going to follow you guys in.
Yeah, he's gonna be up us.
Because of the seriousness of the injury, he was quickly transported to the hospital, where doctors determined that he needed a higher level of care. He was then medevaced by air to Anchorage for treatment of head and other injuries. Authorities later said the injuries were serious but not life-threatening, while on the other hand, LeBlanc remained employed in Juneau Police Department while the incident was being investigated. The case was reviewed by Alaska Office of Special Prosecutions, where the prosecutors ultimately declined to file criminal charges, stating that they could prove a criminal offense beyond a reasonable doubt. However, LeBlanc later resigned, and after his resignation, department also released his previous background. While serving in Louisiana, he was sued over a 2013 traffic stop in which he broke a person's jaw and then repeatedly used a taser on him. The victim, Christopher Williams Jr., also filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against the officer and the department, alleging excessive force and constitutional violations. But in defense, LeBlanc asked the court to dismiss the claims against him, arguing that he was protected by a qualified immunity. And as of the latest public information, the civil case is still ongoing and working its way through the federal court system. Whether Brandon LeBlanc's actions were criminal is no longer the question. The question now belongs to the civil courts. Was this a lawful use of force or a violation of Christopher Williams Jr.'s constitutional rights? That's the question a jury may ultimately have to answer. And if you have any thoughts on this case, let me know in the comments.